Hi, Tanna Marshall here with your Feel Good Friday message. And today I want to talk to you about decluttering. And my office is a great example of that, but actually this whole house is. When I moved in with my mom after my dad died 15 years ago, there was so much stuff everywhere. My mom is a Depression-era pack rat, and if you have parents or grandparents who went through the Depression, they're probably similar, where they want to save everything because we might need that again, because they didn't have money back then, and everything was very scarce. Stuff was scarce, food was scarce, clothes were scarce. They couldn't afford very much, so they had to reuse and recycle and repurpose everything. So I get that, but we're not in a depression anymore. We just didn't need the amount of stuff that was here, and it made me insane because I do not like clutter. My apartments were always very neat and orderly without a ton of stuff. And I don't like lots of knickknacks everywhere. If it doesn't have a purpose or it's not something that has sentimental reason that I love looking at, I don't want it around. So when I first moved home, that was difficult, and I had a couple of conditions. I had to be, hi Boo Boo, the cats are both here needing attention, so hopefully I'll be able to get through this. I had a couple of conditions. I needed to be able to clean out the garage so that I could move extra stuff in there because I didn't want to have to get a storage unit. And I had a fractured foot when this was happening. I was staying with my parents when my dad's health started to decline, and we knew he was dying, so it was fortuitous that I was actually here and I got to spend all this time with him. But when he asked me to move in and I made the decision, like, okay, I had to do all this stuff, like clean out the whole garage with a fractured foot. But I got one of those trash bins. I rented a big trash bin and I more than filled it up. There was just so much crap in there. And then in the house, oh my God, we have all these cupboards that my father built for my mom when they first moved into this house in 1949. And they're way up high on the ceilings in the hallway. There are 3 of them in the hallways. There's one over my bathtub and shower in the bathroom. There's another one on the back porch. He put extra cupboards everywhere. And he said, as soon as I built them, she filled them up. So the room that we are in right now, this was my brother's room. And when he moved out, it was a guest room. We had different people staying here once in a while, or if someone needed to spend the night, that was fine. But eventually, it just became a room where my parents put stuff that they didn't know what to do with. And my brother built some shelves so they would have shelves for their stuff. And eventually, this train set came out. There was this big train set, big board with train tracks all around it that my brother and my dad played with when my brother was a little boy. And it was on a big board in the back of the closet in this room. And one day they thought it would be fun to get it out. And of course, they never looked at it again. And it stayed out. And then my mom started piling stuff on top of it and under it. And it got to the point where you couldn't even walk into this room. Maybe a foot you could walk into this room. And my parents started calling it the go to hell room. And if they had something they didn't know what to do with and they didn't want to throw it away, they just threw it in here. So moving home to that made me a little bit crazy. And I dealt with it for a couple of years. But when I got laid off and started to work on my book and finishing my first book, I needed some kind of space outside of my bedroom because I just had a little tray thing in my bedroom with my laptop. And so my mom's desk that she grew up with used to be her big, heavy wooden desk. It's beautiful, but not my style. And of course, all the drawers were full of crap. And I was able to carve out a little space on the desk and around the desk so I could at least work and have a little workspace. And I reached a point where I thought, I need some real space for myself. I was ready to start my business and it was embarrassing. I couldn't have clients over here. So I cleaned out part of the room and got that organized. But eventually I just told my mom, I need to clean this whole room out. I need to make it my own. So it took me 3 months to clean out everything in this room. Fortunately, that was when she was going to senior daycare twice a week. And so I did the majority of it when she wasn't here. And I have to say, this may sound terrible, but this is where the dementia, as it progressed a little bit, helped me and made my life a little bit easier because then she didn't care as much about the stuff that I was getting rid of or even what I was getting rid of because she didn't always see it. Excuse me. And I later found out my poor brother was stuck in between all of this, because after I moved home, he said that he was getting phone calls from both of us. Like, I'm like, oh my God, it's so cluttered here. I can't stand it. Mom won't let me throw anything away. And my mom's calling him going, Dad is driving me crazy. She's trying to throw everything away. So, so we both had our perspectives on what we should keep and what we shouldn't. And I wanted to get rid of a lot of stuff. So I cleaned out this whole room by myself, and once it was completely clean, I had it repainted, and I got some nice cream colored big rugs in here, so it was very soft and warm and luxurious, and I got some really nice shelves for my CDs and my DVDs and my books, and obviously I got artwork for the wall that I found inspiring, that I wanted to look at every day. So I spend the majority of my time in this room, on the computer, doing research, doing work, making these videos for you. So it's really become a sanctuary for me, thank God, because I needed this. And I knew that the decluttering would help my mom as well, because if you have a cluttered home, you have a cluttered mind. And whether you can really understand the correlation between the two, it is there and it is real. If you have lots of stuff in your home and it's unorganized, and you have stuff that you want to get rid of, or that's just useless, or stuff that's piling up, that is going to affect you. It's going to affect you emotionally, energetically, and it's going to affect how things are going in your life. If you feel like things aren't moving or you're not progressing in certain ways, go clean out a closet or a cupboard or a drawer, and you will feel the difference. And I knew that me doing this in the house, because believe me, I started cleaning out lots of different things, as much as I could in the house. Finally, with Mom's blessing, and then after, when she just wasn't aware enough, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start cleaning stuff out now. You know, I talked to my brother about this, and he would go through some stuff with me, but it was primarily me going through stuff and then telling the family, hey, I found this. Do you want this? Do you want that? But I thought, I want to start doing this now because there's so much. And I didn't want to be overwhelmed with all of that cleaning out after my mom was gone. So I have been cleaning stuff out, I would say, for 8, 9, maybe even 10 years. And I only did the whole office about 7 years ago. But I have hit, I think, every single closet and cupboard in the house. And this is not a big house, but there's still a ton of stuff. And even though I cleaned out the garage when I first moved in, there's a lot of my stuff out there, and a lot of stuff I haven't looked at in 15 years. I don't even know if I want it anymore. So, but that can wait. Inside the house, I'm trying to take care of, because this is where we spend most of our time. So your home is so important, and the energy is so important. This is why feng shui is very effective. The placement of things and how it affects the flow of energy, and certain corners of a room or of a whole home have different energetic aspects. You know, there's the money and career corner, there's the relationship corner, there's the travel and helpful people corner, there's the fame corner, which determines, you know, how much recognition you get for what you do out in the world. So it's really important that you look at your space, and if it's cluttered or dirty or just a mess, clean it up. Organize it. You don't actually have to get rid of a ton of stuff. Just organize things. I'm sure you've seen commercials for closet organizers or drawer organizers or whatever, where it shows it all messy and disheveled, and then poof, it's all organized and all the same stuff is still there, but it's just organized. So I like to organize things. I like to have shelving and drawers and drawer dividers and that kind of thing. I mean, one of the things I did in my life in the corporate world, I was pretty much coordinating departments all the time. And so I liked my space organized, and I liked everything nice and orderly and organized within the department too, all the processes that I had in place to kind of just keep things running smoothly, so that it affected everybody. It not only affected me, it affected the whole department. If I had things running smoothly, the whole department would run more smoothly. If everybody knew what was going on, it was neat and orderly, and we knew where to find things. And it's really necessary in every aspect of your life, personally, professionally, in your home, in your office, whether your office is at home or your office is somewhere else. Just clean out the clutter, organize your stuff, make sure it's pleasing to you and that it feels good. This whole office thing started with someone that I was listening to when I was taking a coaching seminar. And one of the topics was create an inspiring workspace. And that's when I went to my mom. I was like, oh, I need my own office, damn it. And it's really made a huge difference. I'm so grateful for this room, and I love being in this room. You want to love being in your space. And if you don't, maybe you do, but you look around and you're like, ugh, I got to clean that out. Ugh, I got to get rid of that. And you just don't want to deal with it. Just start with one small thing. That's what I did years ago. And right now, I'm getting even more into cleaning stuff out because the time is coming where we're going to have to clean everything out. And I left a lot of stuff just out of respect for my mom. And there's a lot of stuff. We have a shed in the backyard because, of course, my parents got a shed because they ran out of stuff to put crap in the house and to go to hell room, so they got a shed. But I've tried to make good use of that. And again, that's got a lot of my stuff that I don't have room for in the house, and a lot of stuff from my cubicle, actually. My cubicle at work used to be so fun, but it was a lot of stuff. And I didn't realize how much stuff until I had to pack up when I got laid off. But it was fun. It was well organized. I loved looking at everything. It was great energy. It was interesting, and it made me feel good. It made me happy. But there's a lot of stuff, and I don't know what I want or what I don't want anymore. So just when you look at your stuff and you change things up to adjust to who you are now and where your energy is now, and just make sure that it always feels good. And if the same stuff and the same arrangement of stuff feels good for 20, 30 years, then leave it alone. But if it doesn't, if you're feeling like I need a change, or you just feel kind of icky when you look at stuff, or you don't feel good in a space, just start with one small thing. Maybe start with one corner of a room, or one drawer in a dresser, or one part of a closet, and just clean it out. Give stuff away, take stuff to Goodwill, give it to family and friends. Some things you're going to have to toss because they're just not going to be any good anymore. Lovey, what are you doing? She's creating more clutter right now on my desk behind me. I don't know what she's doing. But it's going to make you feel better. And if you have anybody in your family that has dementia or Alzheimer's, this is incredibly important to their mental well-being. If they are living in a lot of crap that's unorganized and messy and piling up, please clear it out. It's going to help their mental state, because when their area is clean and clear, their mind will be a little more clean and clear. And you can help prevent that. This definitely will help prevent you getting to that point, because your brain won't be cluttered with all of this stuff that's in your physical space. So it's really, really important to not only your physical well-being, but your mental and emotional and energetic well-being, to make sure that you are always in a clean, cleared out, organized, pleasant, beautiful, enjoyable space. So do that for yourself, and you will notice the difference. And if you make sure that you're doing that, and you just clean on a regular basis, maybe do spring cleaning. Spring is coming up. Do some spring cleaning. And just clean, even if it's just one thing, just start somewhere. And I guarantee you will feel so much better. And then you will probably want to try other areas too. And then you can, unless you're moving or you have some kind of thing pressing, just do a little bit whenever you feel like it. And eventually everything will be cleaned out. So I really highly suggest that you do it, because it's made such a huge difference here. And it's just so nice to have a space where I feel comfortable and happy, and I feel like I can breathe. And you will notice the difference too. So thank you for joining me for that in my office that used to be full of crap. So thank you for joining me. If you enjoy these messages, remember to subscribe. If you would like them delivered to your inbox every Friday, jump over to my website, tannamarshall.com, join the mailing list. You'll get them from me every Friday with a little note. I would love to have you there. So thank you for joining me, and have a great weekend, and go clean out one thing, just one little thing before next week. Just try it and see how good you feel, and I bet you'll feel great. I'll see you next time.